You're standing on the side of a road and you're feeling really hungry. You've had a really big day. You're absolutely starving. You've had a busy day. You're really tired. You're really hungry. And on the other side of the road is a beautiful park with a lovely duck pond and a nice comfy seat next to a food truck that is serving your absolute favorite food. The smells of the food are wafting across towards you, and you really know that it would be really good for you right now to go over the road and visit that park and eat and rest and just have a moment of peace. But then your brain notices the road that's between you and the park. The side of the road you're on is an industrial estate. Lots of factories, lots of noise, lots of hustle, lots of bustle. On the other side, that beautiful park, and in between, there are 8 lanes of traffic. And the cars are going really, really fast. The wind is going through your hair every time a truck goes by, and the smell of petrol is gross. Your brain goes too hard, turns around, and decides that there must be a vending machine somewhere in this estate, right? Why did it do that? You need the peace and you need the food. Find out. Welcome to Inner Business, the podcast that delves deep into the soul of entrepreneurship. My name is Selena Woodward, seasoned business owner, qualified business coach, and intuitive guide. I'm going to offer you actionable steps to increase your revenue whilst we explore how you are showing up in your business. Let's explore the blocks and connect the dots on your journey to business fulfillment. Welcome to the Inner Business Podcast. As always, I am your host, business coach Selena Woodward, the coach who likes to get you to think about what your business is trying to teach you. And welcome back to our series on the StoryBrand framework and how we can use that to align our marketing message and call in some gorgeous clients or customers for you. We are halfway through the StoryBrand framework now. We're on step 4. So if you haven't already tuned in to episode 6, 7, and 8 of the podcast, head to selenawoodward.com/podcast right now and catch up with us. But today, I really want to talk about that road, those cars, and why our brain won't let us go across the road and experience that beautiful peace, joy, and calm, and yummy, yummy food. Have you ever had an experience like that? Where you know what you need, you can see it, and you know that if you invest in that thing, if you take the risk on that thing, chances are life will be so much better in some way. Whether that is a treat for yourself, like a holiday that you know you need to rest and rejuvenate, or whether that's a course or some business coaching that you could invest in that you know will help you move forward and achieve your goals. But there's something in you that won't let you go forward. Your brain immediately starts telling you all the reasons to say no. Your brain starts blocking you, right? And it feels like really unhelpful. But the reality is your brain is doing exactly what it's been programmed to do. And that is to keep you safe. Regardless of how uncomfortable things are for you right now, your brain has decided that this is a good space, that you are safe here, and it doesn't know what's going to happen if you choose to change things up. Now, all sorts of things happen in our psychology, like limiting beliefs and limiting decisions that run these programs in our brain, and we've got an excellent episode of the Inner Business podcast coming up with Sue Giacobbe, who will dive into that with us. It's going to be great. Trust me, it's awesome. But we need to acknowledge that in the process of walking alongside our customer on their journey. And if you pause for a minute and think about those moments where you can see on the other side the shiny thing, the thing that you know you want, and then you choose not to do it. Fear comes up, thoughts come up, your brain starts to pay attention to the 8 lanes of traffic, the cars, and instead of going, I really want that over there, It goes too hard and it goes to look for another solution to the problem. There must be a vending machine around here somewhere. Even though your body needs that rest and it needs that good food, your body will choose, your brain will choose the vending machine. Ugh. So the first step here in this episode is to get conscious around that for ourselves. Can you think of a time when you knew what you needed, but you talked yourself out of it? And you probably felt very vindicated in talking yourself out of it because your brain kept showing you all these risks and it gave you a story as to why you can't cross the road. You can't cross that road. There's 8 lanes of traffic. Feel that fret in your hair. Like that's wind, that's going to squash you. Danger, 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 Will Robinson. You have a great story as to why you chose not to do that. And when you start to notice that, you get to make a more conscious choice. You get to say, I understand, brain, that there are 8 lanes of traffic here. And I understand that the cars are going really fast. I have seen all of those risks. Can we find a way around them? That's a moment of discomfort, isn't it? It's called cognitive dissonance. When you want to do something and your brain is like, no! And we need a moment there to pause, acknowledge that, and make a path forward. But of course, it takes a lot of calories to do that. It takes a lot of self-awareness to be able to do that. So the second thing we can do when we start to notice this is get empathetic and think about this through the lens of our customer's journey. What happens for them when they meet you as the guide? You've shown them that you understand their problem. You've shown them that you can walk with them and that you've been there, done that, you've got their back. They are seeing into the future and they are thinking, oh my goodness, yes, I want this. And then they notice the 8 lanes of traffic, the fast cars, the trucks, the noise, and something happens for them. So in your sales copy, in your marketing materials, is there a way to help their brain avoid or walk through quickly that cognitive dissonance, that moment of discomfort? The answer is yes, there is. And it's step 4 of the StoryBrand framework. Step 4 of the framework is called the plan. You, my friend, are going to give your customer a plan to get from this side of the road to the other. You see, when I was stood in my metaphorical industrial estate with the park across the road, looking at the 8 lanes of traffic, there could have been a sign on the side of the road that said, this way to the Footbridge. And I could have followed that sign, walked across the bridge, and found myself in that park eating that delicious lunch and relaxing. But my brain didn't notice that. My brain went, danger, Will Robinson, and turned around. And I didn't get the chance to problem solve like that. And so you, my friend, can offer your customers a footbridge, some stepping stones, a way to help them see how they're going to get from this discomfort they're in now, this needing lunch, to that beautiful park, their goal, what it is that they want. And you've defined all of this already by listening to those previous episodes. SelenaWoodward.com/podcast if you're keen to listen to those again. So what does that look like? It's called the plan. Don Miller in his book calls it the road to hope, which I absolutely love, because obviously we're still taking a risk. We're still choosing something and we are trusting you, the guide, and we are trusting your products and services, and we are hoping that the result you've promised is going to happen. There's still a risk there, but we can provide them with a plan, a footbridge over that treacherous road to help make that journey easier, to help make that decision faster, easier, and remove some of that cognitive dissonance that we talked about. Rather than leaving it at buy now, book an appointment, let's just do this, and expecting your customer to overcome all of that by themselves, leaving them in what we now know is a stress response, that cognitive dissonance, that, oh God, I've got to process this. You can provide them with 3 steps that they can take to cross that gap, to move through that discomfort. 3 is the golden number. Why? because our brain loves to remember in threes. As an English teacher, we always used to use lists of threes everywhere. Every speech you read has lists of threes in it. Here's one for you. Slip, slap, slop. Right? We all know that lists of threes help us remember important things. So 3 is a great number for the steps across that road. 4 if you really have to. And if you've got multiple steps in your process, try and group them together and try and make them as simple as possible. The goal here is to allow our brain to burn as few calories as possible and make the decision to move forward with us. We're going to make it incredibly clear how you work with us, what the process is, and what it will look like on the other side. So like I say, if you imagine your customer asking you, well, what do we do now then? What's the next step? The answer is never buy now, purchase, book, get a thing, do it, give me your money. Some of your customers may well be very happy to do that, but the vast majority of them are still crossing over the road. So what do you do instead? Well, there are 2 types of plan that you can choose in the StoryBrand framework, and the one that I would recommend to you is called the process plan. And that is a plan that outlines how you are going to work together. What is the process of purchasing and what is the result in it? Which gives us 3 questions, as I say, that we can focus on. The first step in the plan really should ask them to do something. What is the first step? What do I need to do to work with you? The second step is, what is the process once we are working together? What will I expect? And the third one is, what will it look like when we have finished? So for example, I've got some notes here, different examples. If I'm a counselor and I want someone to book an appointment with me, I'm not just going to book an appointment now. I'm going to divide it into 3 steps. I'm going to ask them to schedule their appointment with me. Then I'm going to explain that the second step will be, we will discuss their issues and we will make a plan for how we can work together to solve those issues. And then we're going to execute that plan together. So they know that in that first call, it's not a therapy session, it's a session to hear what they need, a getting to know you session where we will make a plan, step 2, and then I will be with you to execute that plan and get you where you need to go. We're taking it and we're breaking it down so it doesn't feel like one giant leap. Does that make sense? You're going to tell them what to expect. You are not going to make that one big leap in one go. You're going to make it easier. So for example, reminding you again, number 1, what's going to happen when I connect with you? We're going to have a phone call. We're going to meet on Zoom. I'm going to meet in a coffee shop with you. You're going to rock up to my pop-up shop and you're going to open the fridge. You're going to come and enter the store and browse the candles. What is it that's going to happen when I connect with you? Number 2, what's the process? Well, when you get here, you open the fridge and the buckets in the bottom are full of flowers. They've all been carefully created with love, crafted like you've pre-ordered them. And you're going to choose the flowers that suit you and send the message that you want to send to your loved one. Perfect. That's the process. I now know that there's loads of flowers. I know I can choose. I know where to find them. All of the questions that I was worried about are disappearing. What, does she have flowers? What if she doesn't have the ones I like? Are they fresh? You see what we've been doing here? And then finally, third, not fourth, finally, what does that mean? You now get to give those flowers to the one you love and watch their heart fill with joy. Oh yes, that sounds exactly what I want. You now get to get across to the pond, sit down on that seat, have a rest and eat that gorgeous lunch. Oh yes, thank you for reminding me. That's exactly what I need. That is very different to buy some flowers. Right? They're both the same, but one is breaking that process down into 3 steps and is removing all of the cognitive dissonance, or most of the cognitive dissonance that your brain is looking for as a reason not to proceed. And remember, a confused brain always says no. So if it's seeing the flowers, but it doesn't know whether you've got what they want in stock, it doesn't know what the process is, it doesn't really know whether you're going to be there or not, or how do I pay? Oh, too hard, I'm turning around. So one of the most important things you can do is take some time out to think about the questions that you hear all the time from your customers and clients. What do they keep asking you? What are the objections? What are the things that they see? We were seeing trucks and cars across that busy road. Do they see, I don't know how to pay you. I don't know where you are. I don't know if we're meeting face to face. I don't know whether I have to prep something. I don't know if I'm ready for this. What is it that you hear them tell you? Can you use those in reverse in the steps to help them see that they are not barriers, to remove those barriers so that they can make a step forward? So if you want to work with me, here are my 3 steps. Number 1, you get to book a free 30-minute conversation with me where I will talk with you. I'll ask you a couple of very short questions and invite you to answer them so we can get to know each other and I can understand what your biggest concerns are with your business. That will then result in us, number 2, walking side by side through a customized plan designed specifically for you and your business. And we will use tarot, we will use guided meditation, and we will use my business tools and business acumen. You will have a business expert by your side, walking with you and helping you to continue building your business in alignment with your purpose. That's very important to me. And then finally, you will find yourself looking down the bank statement of a successful business that is fully aligned to your purpose, fills your cup, and is making the difference you want. You, my friend, will be a purpose-driven business leader. Yes, please. Right? Those are the 3 steps, not just book a call with Selena. Right? Yeah, do that. Book a call with me. We'll do all of those things. But by showing you the path and how we will work together in the future, I'm kind of helping you to understand what that looks like. And I hope making it easier for you to make a choice. I'm removing some of those problems. Well, do I have to drive somewhere? Where will we meet? How will we work together? It's all there in the steps, in the plan. So that's what I want you to look at today. I want you to look at your marketing collateral and I want you to see, is there a plan outlined for your customers? Is it clear to them how they work with you, what the difference is that they will get on the other side, and what the process is in the middle? Have you spelt that out for them? Have a little look, because it's really important that they understand all of that so that you can then call them to action. You can have a CTA, and that will be the topic for our podcast episode next week. So if you're wondering what the heck a CTA is, that's important to know the answer to. Interestingly, over 70% of business websites in the US were found to not have a CTA, a call to action. Trust me, if you do not have a CTA, it's a really quick fix and it will definitely increase your sales and your revenue. So make sure you tune in next week. In the meantime, comment below and share with me what your 3-step plan is going to be for your customers. I'm more than happy to comment back and give you some support and insight to help you develop that. You can do that below here in the YouTube, or if you're listening on or watching on Spotify, I believe you can comment there too. Of course, you are welcome to visit selenawoodward.com anytime and check out my resources and my services. I am running a beautiful group coaching session this week. So, make sure if you want to, you grab a ticket for that and hopefully we can meet in person. That's it for this episode of Inner Business. As always, I have been Selena Woodward, your gracious host. Thank you so much for your time. I'll see you next week.